This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate you joining me, and this first story comes from Newcastle, and it's about a man called Mackay who has been jailed after he drew out a semi-automatic Glock and fired it at his former partner in a row back in 2020. CCTV caught the moment that he fired the handgun at the car in the middle of a residential street. The bullet passed over the top of the car and went through the front window of a house and ended up in the living room wall. Several people tried to help Nathan avoid justice, and these included his mother and his own brother. Each played their role in trying to help the 36-year-old to avoid capture for at least 4 days. Detectives from the major crime team tracked Mackay to a hotel in West Yorkshire, where he was later detained. And this week he's been jailed for just under 12 years for possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence. The detective in charge of the case, Steve Brown, said Mackay had a firearm on a busy residential street in the middle of the day. It is sheer luck that nobody was killed or seriously injured, and in a bid to escape his responsibility, he contacted family and friends in order to evade justice and get out of the area. So thankfully nobody was seriously injured or killed in that story. And in some other news coming from Warwickshire Police, dramatic footage shows the moment that a man who was wanted by them jumped out of a house window and then was chased by a police dog before being bitten. Livu Radu, 29 years old, took police on a high-speed chase in his car before fleeing on foot. Dashcam footage shows him weaving in and out of traffic on March the 16th, 2024. He managed to get away on foot before going into a nearby housing estate, and then they followed him to a house on Cornway. This is where he tried to run away again and was chased by a police dog who bit him just before he got to a garden fence. He's eventually tackled to the ground by the dog and police and arrested nearby. He was handed a 12-month suspended sentence and a fine of £1,500 at Warwick Crown Court, and he's also got a pay victim surcharge of £187, and he was banned from driving for 12 months.
You got him.
My supervision has asked on their hailing channel. Stand by.
Yeah, M5 well as well. We've got an adult male getting out of the rear upstairs kitchen window into the back garden now. He's down onto the... good job, just so you get someone down to these guys over.
So I thought that story was really interesting, and I look forward to hearing what the viewers have to say. This next story comes from North Woolwich in London, and 5 people were injured yesterday on the 27th of June 2024 after a fire ripped through the 10th floor of a block of flats. Video footage shows the moment that the flames are seen coming from the tower block, and 4 people were evacuated from the property. 10 fire engines and 70 firefighters arrived shortly after 10:30 p.m. to the flat fire on Rye Mill Street. Most of the flat on the 10th floor was damaged by the fire, and they led everybody to safety alongside 100 residents. It was also reported that some people chose to stay inside, so thankfully nobody was seriously injured, and we'll keep you updated on the outcome in relation to the cause of the fire. And for this next story we need to go over to Suffolk, where 2 men have been charged in a £37 million cocaine importation attempt. This was just off the coast of Suffolk, and the National Crime Agency investigated, and they found a rigid-hulled inflatable boat, which is like an inflatable speedboat, that was intercepted near Benacre Broads in Suffolk on the 24th of June 2024. A Border Force cutter moved in, but the boat initially failed to stop, and one of the men was seen jumping from the vessel and swimming towards the beach. The boat was then successfully stopped by Border Force and searched by NCA officers, where 350 kilos of cocaine was found hidden under a tarpaulin in the boat. So this is nearly half a ton of cocaine, which is a hell of a lot. Investigators believe they had travelled out to sea to a larger ship and collected the drugs. The two people that have been charged, the first person is Bruce Knowles, who's 55 years old, from Norfolk, and the second person is Fahat Gomruk Gugo, and he's 31 years old, from the Netherlands. They were arrested on suspicion of importing a controlled drug, and police in Suffolk and Norfolk were working together to arrest and charge the men. Both were interviewed by NCA investigators and then charged and appeared at Norwich Magistrates Court on the 25th of June. They were remanded in custody until the 23rd of July. Paul Orchard from the NCA said this is a very significant seizure of cocaine and will be a huge loss to the organised crime group that was involved. With thanks to the Border Force, we're able to remove these drugs from the streets and the market of the UK, which would have undoubtedly fueled more crime. So I really look forward to hearing what the viewers have to say on these stories, and I'll definitely keep you updated on the outcome of the trial in relation to these two men. Please don't forget to follow on social media as well at Scarcity Studios, and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Peace.